Hi, everybody. Welcome back to day 13 of my What is a Life Coach series. I'm so glad that you're here. Today, I want to share a little bit more about the tools that I use in my coaching sessions with my clients and how they work together to support the work that we do. Sometimes when people hear the word tools, they imagine worksheets and spreadsheets or formulas. And while there is a time for some practical exercises, the tools that I use are really about helping you slow down, notice, and reconnect with yourself, with God, and others. So, one of the tools I use, I shared earlier in the series in day 8. If you want a really good explanation of this, you can go rewatch that video. It's got a really practical way to use this tool, but it's called the renewal cycle. That's what I call it, and I got it from a bunch of other people and kind of tweaked it to meet what I use it for. But it's this idea that our thoughts create our feelings drive our actions, and our actions shape our lived experience. And over time, this cycle forms how we see ourselves. It creates the identity that we believe about ourselves, and it influences how we show up in the world. And coaching often begins here by slowing down and recognizing where you are and what's happening for you in this cycle. What thoughts are you thinking? How are they making you feel? And how do those feelings drive your actions and then shape your lived experience? Okay, another tool that I use is the Enneagram, and I use this as a tool for awareness. The Enneagram helps us um, understand the way that we look at the world, the lens through which we see the world, and how we engage with it. It helps us recognize our core motivations, our core fears, our core desires, weaknesses, and longings, and the places where we tend to get stuck. The Enneagram's not about labeling you or putting you in a box. It's really about increasing your awareness, your compassion, and your understanding for yourself and for others. Another framework that influences my work with my clients is called internal family systems, otherwise known as IFS. And IFS helps us explore our internal world by helping us get to know the beautifully complex parts of ourselves, parts that protect us, parts that carry wounds, parts that carry beliefs and thoughts that hold wisdom. If you've ever heard yourself say, well, a part of me really wants to do this, but another part of me just doesn't want to at all. I'd rather stay home in my pajamas. That's a really simple explanation of IFS, um, but it is what IFS helps us do. It helps us get to know the many parts of ourselves and tend to the parts that need care. Now, across all of these tools and others that I use, the main one, there's something that I consider just as important, maybe even more important than anything I've actually been formally trained in, and it's the idea of gentle curiosity. Now, I said this before, we can all be curious, right? We can be curious with ourselves. Why did you do that thing? What do you think you're doing? Why would you do that? But gentle curiosity, it's the key to my work, and it really helps us lean into our strengths and our struggles with more compassion instead of more shames and shoulds. And I think it's really important to say this here too, that I don't use all of these tools in one session, in every session with every client. No, that would be too much. Instead, we use what feels supportive to you. This is your transformative journey, and my role as a coach is to walk alongside you as you grow in awareness, connection, and clarity so that you can live with more intention and lean into your purpose, the way that you were created to be, your truest created by God self. All right, tomorrow I'm going to wrap up this series by sharing a little bit about my story with my own personal coaching story, and then just kind of what I'm hoping that you'll take away from this series. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'll see you tomorrow.